As you go about your daily life, you can predict many things. How long your work will take, how you'll get to market, and what you'll have for dinner tonight. But in other ways, life has been thrown into chaos by our changing climate. Floods, droughts, our extreme and unpredictable weather is wreaking havoc throughout the world.
I went to the field, and when I came back in the afternoon, I found my house broken to pieces by the floods. I lost everything: blankets, plates, and clothes. My daughter and I had to move to my sister's house. I've been ill with malaria for the last 2 weeks with headaches and diarrhea. We eat what my sister eats. If my sister doesn't have anything for us to eat, then we just go without food.
If you rely on the land for an income, extreme weather can take away your livelihood. Even a slight delay in the rains can destroy crops. There's nothing to sell and no way to feed the livestock. Families are forced from their homes in search of food. Camps for displaced people are breeding grounds for disease and misery. But we can prepare ourselves for extreme weather. This film aims to help you and your community work out ways to combat extreme weather. Start by organising a community meeting and talk about how the weather affects you. Have you noticed any changes in the climate?
I was born in this village, Nasulu in Burkina Faso. I'm a farmer. I'm not that old, but in the 1960s we had better rain than now. We have less and less rainfall these days.
Draw a seasonal calendar for your village. When are the rainy and dry seasons? When are the harvesting times? Think about the crops you grow. When are they vulnerable? Are some more drought-resistant than others? If there's a flood, would they survive? This community in Nicaragua has drawn a map of their village. It shows which houses are most at risk from flooding. Remember to think about the most vulnerable members of your village, people who are old or ill, or households headed by children. Next, work out your community's assets. You may have natural resources like rivers, lakes, or trees. Or maybe people are your best asset. Work out a plan so everyone knows their responsibilities if disaster strikes.
If there is a natural disaster, then I check the area for people who are wounded or who need help. Also, I can swim, so if someone is drowning in a flood, I could save them. I also know first aid.
Don't wait for the weather to change. Act now. Set up a committee and write an action plan. What can your village do, and what would you need outside help with? Maybe the local government or schools can give advice. Talk to your church, temple, or mosque. Everyone is affected by a disaster, so make sure everyone is involved in the preparations. In Malawi, they're using songs and plays to educate the whole community. Farming techniques can make or break the success of your harvest. In Zimbabwe, they use a method called permaculture, managing the balance between humans, plants and animals. Trees are central to this method of farming. Leaves give shade for tender plants to stop them drying up. Roots stop soil being washed away by the rains, and branches give fruit. Expensive pesticides can be replaced with homemade sprays, like chili pepper and melon. Create your own fertilizer. Bring rotten leaves together, throw them into a pit, add a bit of water, and leave them to rot for a few weeks. The resulting compost will hold moisture and provide goodness for your soil. Think about the crops you're planting. Could others grow better in the recent climate?
First of all, you can intercrop for the purpose of pest control, where you put crops that chase insects. We call them repellent crops. You also may intercrop for the purpose of soil improvement, where you introduce legumes like beans, like pigeon peas.
Crops can't survive without water. But you don't have to rely on the rains. In Malawi, they're using treadle pumps to irrigate crops. Think about new and different ways that you and your community could earn money.
I learned to make women's clothes. Sewing helps me because it provides extra income, and it keeps me busy during the dry season.
Local governments, NGOs and charities might be able to help you with advice and equipment. Ask them how you can keep informed about bad weather and make plans. We can't control the climate, but we can prepare for extreme weather. Now it's over to you. Get your community together and think ahead. Protect and secure your livelihood.